Ladies and gentlemen, we inaugurate this evening for our Maxwell House audience a new feature of our program, which will grow in time, we hope, to become an institution. We're calling it the MGM Theater of the Air, and it is our plan to present here, from time to time, distinguished pieces of dramatic writing, especially suited to radio, and played by MGM's outstanding stars. To open our imaginary new playhouse, Miss Crawford has chosen a dramatic interlude that is neither playlet nor sketch, but a kind of soliloquy in words and music. It was written by Arch Obler and is called Dark World. To play it, we present one of the brightest stars in all the blue sky of Hollywood, Joan Crawford. In tonight's drama, Miss Crawford plays the part of Carol Matthews. The scene, a hospital room. Two nurses are in the room. One of them is writing on a chart.
Died 2 a.m. Carol Matthews. Oh, Margaret. Margaret, let's get out of here.
Why, Amy, what's the matter? Oh, now, Amy.
I can't help it.
I just don't get it. All the time you've been on the staff, I've never seen you act this way over losing a case. And especially this one. Blind and paralyzed and helpless.
Oh, that's just it. For 25 years, from the hour she was born, Carol Matthews had nothing but loneliness and misery. And then to die like that, never having known anything but darkness. Oh, it isn't fair. It isn't fair.
She liked you, didn't she, Amy?
Yes, I think she did. When I'd come into the room, she always seemed to know. She'd turn her face toward the door, and she'd say very softly, "Hello, Amy." "Hello, Amy."
Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. No, you can't hear me, can you? And yet I must speak while I'm still here close to you. You said I'd never known anything but darkness. You're very wrong, Amy. There was never any darkness in my room. How could there be? The skies that I saw never clouded. The flowers never faded. The trees were always fresh and green. I saw a lovely world in my darkness, Amy. Lovely.
And to think, Margaret, all those years in bed, never moving, nothing happening, day after day after day. If she'd had my eyes, if she could have moved around like I do, the world would have been hers.
The world, Amy? Why do you want to give me what I've already had? I had so much. Yes, lying there, I had the world. Don't you remember? You gave it to me. Victor Hugo and Joseph Conrad and all the rest. Theirs weren't just words printed on white pages as you read them to me. They were white, flaming magic that carried me far away from here to the sea. The wind and the hurricane, men fighting for life. I tell you, I was there. I was there. Oh, Amy, have you forgotten Charles Dickens, Paris? The roar of the streets and the revolution. Crowds pushing, fighting all round me. And all the world dying and a new one struggling its way up through blood. And I was there. Amy, I was there. Oh, yes. Whatever you read to me, Amy, wherever the place or whatever the time, the past or the future, that's where I was, Amy. How could you forget?
And Margaret, she must have been very lonely. No one ever coming here to visit her. No one in the world who cared whether she lived or died. So lonely. So lonely.
Lonely? Oh, Amy. Didn't you ever understand about my friends? Why, they were the greatest friends a woman ever had. I chose them from the good and the great. They used to come into this room, yes, and talk to me. The Brownings, oh, such charming people. And Shakespeare. I used to argue with him. And Keats. And Walt Whitman. Oh, yes, he was here, too. He taught me not to be afraid. Don't you remember how he said, I was thinking the day most splendid till I saw the night. I was thinking this globe enough till there sprang out so noiseless around me myriads of other globes. Lonely. Oh, my dear, was ever a woman more fortunate than I? The box that stood beside the bed. You talked of playing records. But again, it was a visit from my friends. Beethoven, here in my room when I was weary. He understood. He'd play so softly, with tired fingers. Here, I tell you. And I'd know it was for me. And Schubert, and Brahms, and Mozart, and all of them, my friends. Lonely. Oh, no, Amy, the days weren't long enough.
And she was so beautiful. So very beautiful. I don't know exactly how to say it, but she was like a flower, hidden away in a dark forest. Every time I'd go out with Danny, I used to think of her lying here. More beautiful than anyone I've ever known. And she had no one. No one.
No one, Amy. There was someone. His name? Well, he didn't have a name. But he was there when I was tired and needed him. Oh, yes, you had your Danny. But in your heart, Amy, I knew there was someone else. Someone that you had dreamed of. Someone you'd never meet, perhaps. Someone you'd forget, as all women forget when they marry their Dannies. But I didn't have to forget the one in my heart, Amy. He was real to me. As real as my friends that came to me with their words and music whenever I stretched out my hand. As real as that lovely world that was mine alone. A dream world, Amy. What are dreams? What is real and unreal? We see only what we want to see. I made a world in my darkness where everyone walked in loveliness. Where things were as they might someday be. It's almost time, Amy. Yes, I hear you. Yes. I must move on, Amy. Thank you for your pity. But pity is only for those who have nothing. And I had a world where all was beauty. Oh, yes, Amy, believe me. I was very happy.